very interesting comment there. When it comes to the era of the CAF president, Patrice Motsepe, there at CAF, and also seeing him renewing this kind of sponsorship deals, and also CAF even starting to make money. And I guess this is the kind of impact we all wished him to be having at that level at CAF.
Yeah, there's value in football, and therefore it's important for companies, to bring money and invest as well. And with the president at the helm, we're already starting to see change, positive change. There's big investments, and also the rewards from teams and players' point of view. It's great. So we need that in football. We need that kind of investment so that our standard of football can improve. The quality of players can also improve, and also be able to attract players that are from Europe, to see the need and hunger to come and ply that trade in Africa. So this year's AFCON as well, it's a highly anticipated one, 24 teams. There's a lot at stake, and hence the investment of other companies and the association with CAF, because there is value, and I see great value, and I see more companies coming in to invest in African football.
You were at AFCON at a very different level as an NFD player, and and I remember at the time, because initially I don't think you were part of the selection until that
the PSL game.
PSL 11. Yeah. Yourself and Masulela. Take us through that.
So that was 2005, December. I was still at Free State Stars. It was mid-season, so just as we were about to go into the Christmas break. So after a session, the coach called us. We were seated there, and then he made announcements that there are players that have been selected to represent their respective countries at the AFCON. It was Kennedy Mwene, Clive Chilenza, Joseph Musonda, all from Zambia. So we applauded and we wished them well. And then he turned facing me and said, and our friend over there has been invited to PSL 11 to play a friendly game against Bafana. And I remember everyone just burst into laughter. So I didn't understand as well. I was like, okay, what's happening? Then they told me that no, there's a PSL invitation that will help Bafana to prepare for the World Cup. And yeah, I remember the game in Durban. I was not even sure that I was going to play, honestly speaking. My uncle called me. I think it was 4 o'clock, and he's the one who told me. So 2 hours before, so I got a call from Free State Stars that I've just received a call from SAFA under 23 call up. So it was a big thing for me to get a chance to play against that great talented players. Then
Steve Khombela's team.
Yes. Yeah. So Temba called me and said, "Hey, now you're a starter." Like, what? Like, no, you're in the team. So I couldn't believe it, because I was not that active back then in social media. How he knew, I don't know. And then team talk, first 11, I'm there. Me on the tap on the left flank. And one of the best games of my life. I enjoyed that game, and it took me 45 minutes, to convince the national team coaches, because I remember I had I think a bit of discomfort on my hamstring, and then as the doctors were attending me, and then there was a call from the other change room that no, that's enough, you must not go back in the second half. So yeah, and then the next day, I think it was on a Sunday, I then received a call from the then team manager, Panikujane, that I must report to camp later for the under 23s. Okay, I said, okay. I was happy, I was excited. I couldn't wait. And then around about 6 o'clock, I took a nap. 2 hours later, I got a call from my late friend who said to me, congratulations, you're going to AFCON. So I couldn't understand what he's talking about. So I assumed it was Sailor Tshabalala, maybe only had Tshabalala. Then I said thank you, then I went back to sleep. Then after that was calls after calls after calls. I still couldn't believe it. I remember waiting for 10 o'clock for news bulletin at Ukhozi. When they named the team, my name was there. Still, I could not believe.
You want to hear your name?
I only believed it the next day when we went to training. So they sent a private car to fetch me, and then went straight to Johannesburg. So we waited about 5 minutes, and then this big, beautiful bus arrived, and then there was best of the best players coming out of that bus. I still could not believe it. So yeah, it was a great moment. It was a great moment, and first game again, Cairo Stadium against Egypt. I remember we went for a warm-up. So just second half, the start of second half. And then the physio came to call one of us. So he pointed. And then I was like, are you saying me or the next person? Then he said, you. I ignored him. Third time, then that's when I went and I got that opportunity for my first cap. And then also, subsequently then the AFCON, first AFCON 2006.
Yeah, if we can just fast track to this team, Shaba, the way I'm open the way that the team has also qualified, and you can see that also this good and intense under Coach Hugo also. What do you make of this team and the progress under the current coach?
I think we should give them a chance. Everyone deserves a chance. I'm sure even when I was called up for the first time, no one believed in me. No one gave me a chance. But there are those that believed in me, and then they gave me a chance. We've got good players that are doing well, and I do believe that we also need to give coach a chance, give him space to do his work. I think he knows what he's doing, and players as well. They must just fight for him, fight for the country. There's a lot at stake. When you're playing for the national team, you do not only represent your team or your family. You're an ambassador of our country. Therefore, it's important that you perform, you do your best all the time. And so far, it looks like we're heading to the right direction. It's slow strides, but I see a little bit of progress. And for us to get there, we just need to rally behind them, and they must also show consistency as well. We're going to a big tournament where best players will be playing there, and it's every footballer's dream as well to represent their country and play in the AFCON. AFCON is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, and in the continent is number one. So it's important that we support them and respect, the coach selection and the players that have been called upon.
In fact, the two of us were in Cote d'Ivoire recently. And maybe Cote d'Ivoire, they had played Morocco before. They thought they were going to have it easy, but I think Bafana, they took them out of the park in that game, and they were impressed. And if you look at the results against Cote d'Ivoire, Morocco, you can see what this team can do. They start World Cup qualifiers this week, and we have not been to the World Cup for a very long time.
Yeah, like I said, we on to something. I see a lot of positives. Yes, there are negatives, but more positives. And when you look at the game against Morocco, the game against Cote d'Ivoire, we played at the highest level, and we played against the best players that are playing in the best leagues in the world. So we showed that we can compete. We showed that we do have quality. We just need to be consistent. The same mindset that we apply against the top 10 ranked nations in Africa is the same that we need to apply when we play against Rwanda or Lesotho or Namibia. So we need to give respect to every opponent and respect in terms of performing well, respect in terms of wanting to improve as well, and also winning the trust from the nation.
In 2019 was our last AFCON. We reached the quarterfinals. For this group, you've obviously watched them closely. What do you think is a realistic target for them going to this AFCON?
In a tournament, there's drama, there's everything, there's highs, there's lows as well. I think form does not count. Those that are well prepared, they tend to do well. And we have a chance here. We make sure that we advance to the next round. Anything can happen, but we must make sure that we do well in our group and compete. Like I said, it's about making sure that we do our best and we enjoy each and every moment. We get the results, and we'll definitely go all the way.
And lastly, the success of Sundowns. We always talk about the success of Pirates in '96, but the success of Sundowns, and I'm saying this because even the last squad, starting lineup had about 6 to 7 Sundowns players.
9 in the squad.
But in the starting lineup. So how does it rub off on this team?
It makes perfect sense to have more players from Sundowns in the national team. They're doing exceptionally well. They play good football, and mentally as well. They have also developed that strong mindset, of knowing how to win games. Even through difficult challenges, they know how to win games. Their game management is unmatched, and they are dominating, at the bigger stage. They just recently won the African Football League, which is history, and which should something we should inspire our football in South Africa, that with great resources, with great investment, we can thrive. Sundowns is thriving, not by fluke, but merely because of the investment that they put, the hard work that they put behind the scenes as well. And for a coach to have a core of his team coming from Sundowns, I fully agree with him. National team coaches, they don't have enough time to prepare. It's only limited time, and it's also difficult to chop and change. You must make sure that you find your core, and obviously there will be those individuals that do well, score goals, and then they get given a chance. But the core should remain the same. It shouldn't be unchanged. And I'm sure they also talk in the dressing room, in camp, about their success and how it feels. And it's good to have them in the national team. It's really good.
Danke.